Hello, it's Andrew here, and this is my map, Spades, which is essentially a ship that's been torn in two, with interconnecting paths and platforms. Anyway, as you can see, this is where players spawn, both on and off the walkways and flag bases. Players have several options here. They can basically go straight forward through this force field and go off into the rest of the map, fight and go towards the enemy base. Also they can come along here, grab the link guns and go through these doors, which are basically wing shape and rotate roughly 90 degrees, as you can see. I still have to activate dynamic collapse, that's why they appear to have no texture, but when choosing my doors, basically ones that slid sideways or up or down, basically going through the walls, which are quite thin, and going through my ceiling or floor, which just didn't look right, so I had to choose an appropriate mesh which opened up sideways, just so it didn't look silly. Plus the whole wing of mesh looks quite nice overall. There's a side platform which basically leads off out into the open as an extra route. These weren't originally here. It was originally just these walkways to the lower platform and these upper ones. Basically, I've added these to decentralise the action and give more options to the player on getting from A to B and back again. These crates were also added as cover against snipers, and also since before, these force fields have been given a blocking volume in the middle which just blocks bullets, nothing else. So players can still get through, but bullets can't, which really does help against the originally dominance of snipers. Carried on here, there's also helmets which protect against one headshot or a certain amount of damage, and then you've got these platforms which are basically, they interconnect these side walkways. As you can see, you can jump over the crates towards them, or and then jump over, or you got the jump pad in the middle, as well as weapon, which on the opposite side platform you have rockets instead. Underneath you've got a weapon platform which players often land if they miss the jump, which have a rocket launcher and flat cannon respectively on opposite sides to these higher up side platforms. They can be a quick route and kind of sneaky towards the enemy bases, but also adding the jump pad in the middle gives them a flanking option towards any players that may be up on this upper platform, as well as any players that may be on the lower platform. This upper platform, as you may have saw, had quad damage, basically making players deal a hell of a lot more damage, but the risk reward scenario, if there's any snipers in the tower, is pretty high due to essentially you are quite safe from snipers being on this platform due to the extra height. But using these ramps to get up onto to get the damage multiplier opens you up to sniper fire and headshots, etc, etc. Added thigh pads also, just for something else to fight over if quad damage isn't there. Did originally have a shield belt, but given 150 points to armor just made the players way too overpowered if the quad damage was also there. Also, I didn't want to add the sniper vest as I've got one on the lower platform. As you can see, also the sniper tower which players use the teleporters to get to. And just to counter any kind of overpoweredness of snipers, I've basically not given them much cover to get behind, but also, yeah, as I said before, these crates and archways and also the force fields just help a hell of a lot against basically sniper usage. Also, two key elements to my map are one, these jump pads. I've tweaked them enough so players don't go really high basically and take ages to land, which would just leave them to make them easy targets while in mid-air basically. And also I've increased the player control from 0.5 to 1, so basically they can be more precise in the landing and basically have more control over their avatar. Another key element is its low gravity, and as you may have saw, it can lead to some funny moments with player deaths, but also it gives a more floaty feel, obviously due to the fact that it is in space, and to us space is known to have lower gravity, and I was just trying to emulate this. And while in the ship you have the default normal gravity, I think minus 520, which really does break down gameplay. The gravity is light enough where players are more floaty and movements are exaggerated a bit more, but it's not too much where players just lose all control over the player and it just gets aggravating. Due to the exaggerated movements, players move farther, etc. So Banisters here to stop players from overshooting on the jump pads, and also when they quick step on this lower platform, just so they stop falling, which can get rather annoying. Crates here to break up the lower platform a bit and just make it a bit more of a frantic shootout with some cover, and the armour's a little extra to fight over. This lower platform here also has an invisibility power up, which is just to convince players to try and make this jump, which you've got to both time right and do a double jump to get across, otherwise you'll fall off into the killing volume down below, which is also to essentially stop players from forever falling. The invisibility power up is just essentially another risk versus reward scenario, and yeah, I think that's it about my map. So yeah, that's Spades for Spades, and I hope players enjoy it.